I literally just got halfway through and it turns out the screen recording wasn't working. So that's fun. I think I'm gonna have to start this whole video over again. Okay, I'm gonna start over. Hi, my name is Kay. I'm a poet and writer, and on this channel I do reactions to K-pop videos, specifically lyric reactions and breakdowns. And today I decided I want to do my favorite Suga solos. This is from one of his Agust albums. From the first time I read the lyrics, it was my favorite of his songs. But I don't know if I'll be stopping that much because Suga's lyrics aren't necessarily like what we typically think of as poetic. They typically are very direct. He's telling you a story. He's telling you exactly how it is, his experience of how it is. And it ends up being beautiful. But in terms of like strong metaphor and flowery language, that's not Suga's style. That's not really the direction he's going. We'll see. I'll stop as much as I feel like, but I might just kind of, we might just kind of experience this song because this is my favorite of his songs. I feel like the lyrics of this really hit me pretty specifically. It's also just like an interesting song. He's a very good songwriter, and he's also very open and honest and kind of exposed in this one, and I think it's just one of my favorites. So we're doing it today, but this is the last. This one, I guess, trigger warning for talking about mental illness. There is a part in here that does kind of reference possible thoughts of suicide, so definitely if that's something you want to avoid, definitely avoid that. I really wanted to do this one for a long time because it is my favorite of his songs. So here we go, the last. Should we get the tissue box in case? Luckily I'm not gonna be shocked because I already know what the lyrics are going to be covering, and also because that's not the kind of writing that Suga does. He's simply explaining things as they are to you, which is a skill all on its own for it to come across so powerfully. So here we go. It is also very warm in this room. If I start looking more and more red or more and more sweaty, it's just really hot in here right now. Can't have a fan on because that really messes with the sound quality, and I know it's already not that good, so here we go. I have to say, I like that this translation uses the terms like OCD. Dual Set uses the term compulsion, which could be closer to the term that they use in Korea, but OCD is probably what he was actually diagnosed with. So behind a successful idol rapper stands my weak self is the Dual Set lyrics. Depression and compulsion sometimes flare up. Maybe that's my true self. Feeling the separation from reality, conflicts with my ideals, my head hurts. When I was about 18, my social phobia developed, and they use a different term here as well. Sociophobia, which is the same thing, but just combine it into one term. And yeah, it was about then my mind became polluted more and more. Dual Set's translation is sometimes I'm afraid of myself, thanks to self-hatred and depression that came to play again. Min Yoongi, which is Suga's real name, in case anyone came to this video not knowing that, Min Yoongi has already died. I killed him. It's been a long time since it became my daily life to compare my dead passion to others. And then he talks about On my first visit to a psychiatrist, my parents came to Seoul and had a consultation with me. Suga's family lives on the other side of the country from Seoul. They came all the way to have a consultation with him. My parents said they don't know me well. I don't know myself well either. Then who would know? A friend? If not you, nobody knows me well. And I think they did a really good job with the lyrics in this part. That my parents said they don't truly understand me and I don't understand myself well either. I think that was really good translation on these lyrics. And then the doctor asked, have you ever beep? And the common question that would be asked in that kind of a consultation with a doctor is, have you ever thought about suicide? Or if you ever attempted suicide? Without hesitation, I answered, I have. So I say it like a habit. I don't give a shit, I don't give a fuck. And all those words are to hide my weak self. The time that I want to erase, it was the day of some performance I can't even remember. I faced myself who got afraid of people and hid in the washroom, which this is a very awkward translation for dual set. The translation here is much better. He said, those days I wish I could erase, when I hid inside the toilet because I was scared of people, hiding in the bathroom because he just could not face people at a performance. You know, we're supposed to be like on stage and the anxiety is so bad he can't even feel competent to do his job. He can't even feel like he maybe even belongs there. Like it's too much, it's too overwhelming for him. Back then I thought that success would make it all worth it. That going through this kind of pain, dealing with like the fact that those types of mental illness like depression and anxiety and OCD can become much worse by the kind of lifestyle idols are living. Those types of things can be compounded by the added stress of just the type of lifestyle and career that he's in. I thought success would make it all worth it. It began to feel like I'm becoming a monster as time passes. He's good, he's good. The lyrics are intense. The monster, my success, earned at the cost of youth, wants greater wealth. The greed that used to be my weapon now swallows me, ruins me, puts a leash around my neck. I think this translation is very good for that. I exchanged my youth for success, and that monster demands for more wealth. I wanted more. The success was never enough. And some try to shut my mouth and say I should swallow both good and evil. Or some people stop my mouth to ask me to swallow the forbidden fruit. I don't want it. They want me to leave this hill, or they want me to leave this garden. Interesting that the translators have chosen different placements, essentially. Dual Set has chosen much more like, I guess, biblical references, and this one has stayed away from that. And yet still managed to kind of say the same things, like dying on a hill, or because the forbidden fruit, dying in the garden. And so shit, I get it, so please stop. I got it, so stop it. The cause of all these problems is me, so let me quit by myself. I'm the root of all of this, so I'll stop myself. Like, don't tell me to stop. I did this to me. I chose this path. I'll stop when I want to. If my misfortune is your happiness, I'll gladly be unfortunate. Isn't that a good line? If my misfortune is your happiness, I'll gladly stay unfortunate. If it makes you happy that I'm having these struggles, I'm having these issues, I'll keep it. If the target of your hatred is me, I'll step onto that guillotine for you. If I'm the figure of hate, I'll get on the guillotine. That's really heavy. He's so honest in a way that it almost hurts to listen to a song like this, and yet there's so much strength in it where he's just like, this is how bad it was for me. Like, this is me letting you know I had anxiety and depression so bad I had to see a doctor, I had to get treatment. I could not function. I was hiding in the bathrooms during performances, or when I should have been, you know, out mingling, honestly, and networking and things. Like, I could not function and had to seek help. And if all of this, like, knowing this, and if I'm a figure of hate, I choose this again. But this life, I chose it. I get to decide when I stop. You don't get to stop me. And I'll get on the guillotine if my misfortune just makes you happier. Like, if you hate me for it, I'll step onto the gallows. I'm still gonna do this no matter what. Like, what a dark way to think about, like, I'm still pushing for the success that I want, even if I can't function to get there. Like, that's how deep the dream was. Okay, and now he's like, this is where the guillotine leads to, okay? Now he's really getting into it. This song builds in a beautiful way. Things I'd only imagined became reality. My childhood dream is in front of my eyes. A little shit who used to perform in front of 2 people. This is very different. So this section, my one and only life, I can easily live it more passionately than any other. This one has a whole other line. This a little shit who used to perform in front of 2 people. There's a whole other section. Now Tokyo Dome is in front of my nose. I only live once, so I live harder than anyone. Living half-heartedly can be done by anyone. But this one goes straight into my fan, my homie, my fam. I hope you don't worry because I'm really okay now, damn. Don't worry because I'm really okay now, damn. I denied my essence multiple times. My address is idle. Don't forget it. Or I don't deny it. Working in the idol industry. Like, I might be a rapper, but I am working in the idol industry. The anguish that dug into my mind countless times. At the end of my wandering, there was no answer. My pride that I thought I had sold now becomes my self-respect. So I thought I had given up my pride. I thought he was told, going from being in the rap world to being an idol, you're downgrading yourself, you're belittling yourself. He was told some really nasty things by some people, and he said, I thought I was throwing away my pride in order to eat, in order to live, because that's how dire he was at one point in his life, that he would have done anything for the money. And he's talked about that quite a bit, that the money was so important. Becoming an idol was a no-brainer because the money would be there. So my pride, which I thought I had given away, I thought being an idol was throwing my pride as a rapper away, it turned into self-respect. It turned into a great thing. Seiko to Rolex, from Axe, which is a hall that they had performed at, to gymnasiums, an arena that they had performed at, gymnasiums. Tens of thousands nod to one hand gesture of mine. So, you know, when you're like bopping, like 8 Mile style, and show me the money. It's not that I couldn't do it, I didn't do it. And this has the note, show me the money is a Korean rap competition. Sugar never went on the show. He's not saying he couldn't have, he just didn't. It's something a lot of rappers do try to go on. It seems like it's kind of cutthroat. The rap world does seem a bit cutthroat in Korea. They seem very harsh. Not that the idol world is less harsh, of course, but you know. Those who used to sell us out, it's not that you didn't do it, you couldn't do it. People like telling them they're sellouts, that he couldn't do it. Let's see, I've tasted the world's sweetness and bitterness and even shit. The time when I tried to sleep on a bathroom floor is now a memory to me, like that hiding in the bathroom, probably being at the lowest point in your life, that's just a memory. It just became a memory. I debuted holding on to my fucking crushed shoulder thanks to the accident in my part-time delivery job. In front of whom do you think you're pretending you've gone through hardships? He was run over by a car. And he had talked about it in other songs as well. He was run over by a car before they debuted and kind of didn't tell anybody because he thought that the industry would kick him out for an injury like that. Didn't tell anybody for a while. He danced on that shoulder for like 10 years before he got it fixed. The boy's been through some things. You look at BTS now and they're the wealthiest musicians in the world. Like they're doing fine. But they weren't doing fine for a long time, and Suga did not come from any kind of wealth. He's talked about like real poverty before, and this song is touching on that. Yeah, to all of those who told us we were sellouts, saying like you can't do it or that we didn't do it, well shit. Like here we are, we've done it. I just think the song is such a, more so than I feel like than a lot of his other songs that kind of touch on the same subject. Like Suga had some salt that he had to get out of his system. He had almost an entire album that he was just like, look at me now, bitch. Basically like, just had something to say to the haters and really needed to say it and said it a lot. I feel like this song says it better than a lot of the other ones that are maybe more direct on the subject, that he's saying it was hard and it's not fair for people to say, oh look at you now, like you didn't have it hard. Like this is how hard it was. This is how bad it got. This is where I was once and now I'm here and now I'm doing all of this. And they've done way more since he released this as well. He've done worlds more since they've released this. They're at the top of the world. They are the biggest group in the world. The last thing we saw that was like what BTS now is the Beatles. We just haven't had anything that has hit the world on the same kind of level and stage in a long time, that has had the same kind of widespread appeal, the same kind of phenomenon is since the Beatles. But even just then, like, we're having success and we're doing all of this and my dream is coming true, and everyone who said that I couldn't do it, that I, you know, belittling me, I'm here now. And just that drive. This song is so Suga. I feel like this is the bearing his soul to everyone, that this is what his dreams were and how hard he worked to get there. And I just think the song is fantastic, and I love the building. I just think this song is his best. I really think this song is so good, and I think it's very much an underrated one of his songs. I wish he'd have done a music video to this one and then people would have paid more attention to it, but just so good. That was the last. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. I really think this translation was very good. I think in many places they had a superior translation to dual set, which is never the case, right? But let me know if you disagree with me. I just think the way that they worded things was a lot smoother in a lot of sections. This is my second time recording this since something messed up the first time. That was a little frustrating, but hopefully it all came out good in the end. Definitely let me know what you think of the last. Let me know what you think of Suga's lyrics in general, because I just think that they're so powerful in a way that's so different from a lot of other people who write really powerful lyrics. Suga's so direct about things. He's so specific, and he's not sugarcoating his words. He's just choosing them very directly. And I think it's interesting. I think I like him for that reason. And I think it took me longer to learn to appreciate. It took me until I heard this song before I was like, wait a second. What Suga's doing with lyrics is different and so beautiful in its own way. I post videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Be sure to leave this one a like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and I'll be doing more of it in the future, of course, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye!